Hey everybody, and welcome back. I am going to be recording another video tutorial for you guys today. And here, let me share my screen. I'll show you what we're going to do. Turn off my camera. Okay. So here's the repo that we're going to be starting with today. It's called Sprint Review Authentication. And don't worry, I'm going to leave this and anything else that we may need in the video description below. So just if you want to have a starter code, feel free to grab this. The master branch is all ready for you to grab and start coding along with. And if you just want to look at the solution and kind of follow along with me as I go through rather than code along with me, you can go to the solution branch, and I have everything coded out already for us, what we're going to be doing today. And I also have some extra notes in the solution branch if you want to check that out. You can navigate through things on here through GitHub and look at it that way, or if you want, you can pull it down and look at it on your VS Code. But for now, I am going to start with the master branch. I can just clone it here by getting this URL. But if you guys are following along, make sure that you fork it and then you clone it. All right, so I'm going to open up a terminal. And we're going to say, I'm going to go into my desktop, that way you can see it pop up. And I'm going to this one. Here, I'll drag it over here. Here it is. Okay, now let's open it up. Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. It opened up on 2 windows there. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Now let's drag and drop this in there. And boom, here's our starter code. So you can navigate through my files that I have in here. We're going to be building out the auth middleware and the auth router. Today we're going to be making a login and a register and login. I always say login before register, but you have to register before you log in. So either way, we're going to be building out those two post requests today. And then we're going to be making sure that they have everything they need. They have a token before they can log in, and they have things like a username and password. But you can go in, look at some of my other files. Here's where I make my Axios request here. This is where I get this cat fax. So when we log in, you'll see a single cat fax, or fact. And here's our secret. Normally you guys would put this in here. I already have this in here for you. And this is just your JSON Web Token secret. And then your migration files, if you want to check those out, you can. It's just for your users and like what they require. And then let's see, what else is in here? Oh, and then your users model. So I already built this out for you as well. It's just getting all of the information from the data from the users table. That way we can make a post request and we can use this, our helpers in here from our model. Okay, so I also have a notes file in here, and it just kind of walks us through some steps that we're going to be following for this repository. And in the README, it just has some simple steps for you guys. Like if you work and clone this repo and then you CD into your project, create your own branch, npm I, that way you can get all the node dependencies. So I actually already have, not there, sorry. I already have all the other dependencies that we will need. I even have testing dependencies in here. I have jest, and I have your test script. So I have everything. You just have to run npm jest dash dash, or npm, oh goodness, I'm messing myself up. npm test dash dash watch. Yeah, that should be it. And when you do that, it should watch for your tests. And that's only if you get to the stretch goal and you want to create some tests for your endpoints. But I am not going to walk you through any testing today. I'm going to leave that part out. But if you would like to go in and make a test file and go in and test your endpoints, like your post request and in your, you can test this one, you have this GET request if you want. Yeah, you can write some tests for your endpoints, but that is up to you. And if you get to that, that's great. It's great practice. Testing is really good to have. I'm personally not that great at it, but it's a good thing to know and good thing to practice. And I think everybody could use more practice with testing. So let's just go right in. Let's look at these steps in our notes file. And okay, so we already did that, Oh, actually, I didn't make a branch, and I want to. So where are we at? We're just in our desktop. Let's cd into our, okay. And then I'm gonna git checkout. And I'm gonna name this follow along. Actually, no, I'm gonna name this video recording. It's gonna be way too long to type out, but oh well. Okay. So now I switched to a new branch, video recording, and this is specifically for this video. So if you just want to look at the code that I am doing in this video, you can look at the branch on GitHub, the video recording. It's not there now because I didn't push anything there yet. But here, I can real quick. Okay, so now video recording should be there if I refresh. Yeah, there you go. So if you just want to look and see what I did during this video, go to this branch, check it out. All right, npmi. Yes, let's do that. All right, while that loads, let's check out. Okay, so this is to get a package.json. I'm not sure why I put that step in there. You don't need to create a package.json, it's already there for you. But if you were starting this project from scratch and creating all of this, and you say npmi, it's just going to pop up with a package lock.json. And if you need to create package.json, then you would do this command right here. Right here. Okay, that's all good. Looks good. So now we're going to add server, start, and test scripts. Oh, yeah, I don't know why I put all that in there. You don't need to do that. I already did all that for you. But once again, if you are starting from scratch, you're going to need to put a server, start, and test script. You don't really need a start script right now, but if you were going to like create a React app and you want to see it on your web browser, then you would need a start script. But right now you just really need a server and test, but it's all good to have in there. So yeah, just add those three in there if you are needing them, which you're not for this project because I already have it there for you. Okay. Oh yes, and then I say, remember you're going to have to write tests for the sprint. So you will need to think about what dependencies you're going to need. So I'm not going to walk you guys through what kind of dependencies you're going to need for testing, but just think about it. Think about what kind of testing library you're using. You know, just think about what kind of dependencies you're going to need in order to run your tests. And then the start script for your tests, you know, you're going to need that as well. Navigate through your files, get yourself familiar with the structure. So I already walked you guys through that, but actually let's go into our server. I have this all for you already, and I have the end of your your endpoints, I guess you could say, the end of your URLs that you're going to need to put into Postman, your routes for each whatever, for each of your routers. You have a CATS fax router, you have an auth router, and then you have these routes you're going to have to put into Postman in order to get your login and your sign up. And then this is going to be after a user is logged in and has that token. You're going to want to go to this route right here on your post. Oh my gosh. Okay, you're going to want to go to this one when a user is already logged in. So this one is for login and, oh, I always write them the wrong way. Register and login. And then this one is after a user is logged in and has a token. Because remember, we're not going to be able to get to this route if, well, we can type it in, but we're not going to be able to get anything. It's going to come up with an error unless a user is logged in and has a token. Okay, cool. So now let's go back to our notes, now that we've established that part. And then let's start to code out our register and login. So this is going to kind of be a quick video tutorial. It's not going to be anything extravagant because I did put a lot of the code in here for you guys already. And if any of this is confusing, I encourage you to like go through it, write notes for yourself before you get started the project, because it can be a bit overwhelming to come into a already existing, project. But maybe you guys think the opposite. Maybe it's overwhelming for you to go into a project with nothing and start from scratch. So I wanted to make this kind of a quick video tutorial, not anything super long. So I just started from like a base code here. But yeah, definitely go through if this confuses you, find out what everything's doing and find out like what I'm importing here, find out what I'm doing, because it might be a little bit confusing. And of course, these things don't exist yet. Like I don't have anything in my auth router. I don't have anything in my, not my auth router, in my auth middleware. I also don't have anything in my auth router. And I do have stuff in my cat fax router. But these two, my auth, that doesn't exist right now. I mean, it does exist, but it doesn't have anything in it. So obviously my code is not going to work right now, but once we build out our register and login post requests here, everything's going to come into play. So enough of me blabbering on. Let's get into this tutorial. All right, so in order to make these post requests, I'm going to be using this secret from, and if you want to check this out, this is just your JSON Web Token secret. This uses the environment, and then I just have the string here, like it says secret. Yeah, you can make this whatever you want. You can change this. It should be something that's hard to guess, but I don't think this is very hard to guess, but we're just practicing. Okay. So after that is established here, let's go in and let's do our first thing. Let's do, oops, not that. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's do router. And we're going to require this to use Express. I'm just going to say .router. All right, and then we're going to use bcrypt. Okay. There we go. And I have bcrypt as a dependency. It's just going to hash our password. And then, we want JSON Web Tokens. So JSON Web Token, JWT, and then we're going to have that require JSON Web Token. Okay, cool. And then, actually, I'm going to change this because I'm going to just import this directly in here. So we're going to do JWT secret. There we go. So now I just imported this directly in here. I destructured it in here and just imported where it was coming from. Okay, cool. So now we are going to say users, and then we're going to have this require. Yeah, I think I messed up with that thing, that line I put in here before. I mixed the JSON Web Token and my importing my users model. Yeah, so ignore that. I know that was already there when you got this project, but ignore that. I made a mistake. Oh, no, not this. Okay, so it's dash users, and then I'm going to do my users model. So this is going to get everything from my database that I need. It's going to make sure that I have everything that's required in my database, and it's going to use my helpers. You can check out my users model if you want to see what I'm doing, what I'm doing with my users database here. All right, so now that all that is squared away, let's create a post request. So I'm going to say router.post, and then this is going to be to register a new user. So I'm just going to make this dash register. So the whole endpoint should be whatever local host we have, and then API/auth/register. All right, and then we're going to pass in our homies, as Luis would call them, rec and res. And then in here, we're going to say let user, and then we're going to let this be the rec.body. Okay, and then here's where we're going to hash the password when you register a new user. So we're just going to say const hash. And then here's where we're going to use bcrypt, because that is what is going to hash our password. And then we're going to use hash sync. And then in here, we're going to say user.password. That way it hashes the password. We're going to say 8. And then we can just put a little note here that says hash a password when registering a new user. All right, and then you can say user.password and then equals hash. So then you're going to turn their regular password that you're getting from the rec.body into a hashed password that you are declaring here, that you're making here. You're creating this hash variable, and you're assigning it to this bcrypt, which is going to hash the password that it's getting from the rec body. And this 8 just signifies that the password, you know, it's going to be 8. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. It's going to be 8 symbols long. There you go. That's it. All right, and then we are going to say users, and this is going to get our helpers from our users model. And we're going to say add, and I created that in our users model.js. And then we're going to say user. So what this is going to do, if you go into my user model, you can see I have this function called add. And what it's going to do is it's just going to insert a new user to the database. And then we're going to say new user, because that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be a new user. And then we're going to say res.status, and then we're going to give it a status of 201, success, JSON, new user. And then here we're going to say catch, and we always need a catch to catch our errors. And then we're going to give it a status of 500. Okay. I can't type, but there we go, 500. And then we're going to say .json. And actually, you don't even really need to. I mean, you can put the error in here. It's helpful because then a user can like actually see the error. You could just do end. You could, and then just like end it here. But honestly, we're probably gonna, we want this error in here. So forget that. Forget what I just said. I take it back. We want this error. And then actually, if you want to look up what kind of like status you're passing in here, oops, wrong one. You're passing in here like 201, 500. There's this fun little website. What's it called? Cat error messages. That's HTTP cats. There we go. And then you can see what they all mean. So 201 is created. Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, that's not success. 200 is success. 201 is created. So we did create a new user. So that's why we're using 201. And then, you know, so on. Tells you everything you need. Partial content, 206, multi-status. Like if you ever want a more precise status to go with your code, just check this out. They're funny. They're hilarious pictures. Like length required, these too short. So cute. So if you love cats as much as I do, oh my gosh, my cat's getting hit with water. Anyway, I could get really distracted on here. Look, he's eating with a bear. But okay, I better stop before I get too distracted. But yeah, this is a cute website to go to, http.cat. I will post this in the description as well. And if you want to find out more about your status codes, what they mean, and get more precise status codes for your code specifically. I said code a lot in that sentence, but yeah, this is a good website to look at, and it's funny. All right, so that's it for our register. So now we're going to move on to our login. So let's just go right in and say router dot post. I almost said login, but that's not where login goes. Login goes right here, dash login. So again, this is going to be your rest of your endpoint here. You're going to say API/auth/login. And it's a post request. Register and login are both post requests. So make sure that you make them as such. And then again, homies coming in here, open that up. And then we're going to say, oops, oh my goodness. Restructure these. We're going to say let username and password. And then of course, where's username and password coming from? Rec.body. And then this is just destructuring so that I can put them both in one line here. You can do this another way. You can say like let username equal rec.body dot username. But I find this easier. I personally like destructuring a lot better for myself. Oops, it's not how you comment things out. There we go. And then you can do the same thing with password. Let password equal rec.body.password. But this is, I like the whole one line destructure thing, but it's all your style. If the other way makes more sense to you, by all means, do whatever makes sense. All right, and then once again, we're gonna go in here, we're gonna say users so that we can get our helpers here from our user model. And then this time, we're gonna say find by. If you go in here, you can see, and I'm losing my place, hold on. Oh, here it is, okay. I have a function, oh, find by ID, that's different. Find by, and then that is just going to filter through my users and get a single user so that I can log in one user. and then it's going to find by the username. So it's going to say, okay, whatever user has this username, get them out of my user database. So, and also you'll notice there's no two users with the same username because the username needs to be unique. So if this is unique, then you can find by that, because obviously if you don't make this unique and you have two users with the same username, it's going to throw you errors. You're not going to be able to log in with a username because you can't log in two users at the same time. You only want to log in one user. And because they have a unique username, you are able to do that. All right. Here we're going to say .first. And then after that, we're going to say .then. Okay, and here's where a logic is going to come in. We're going to say if the user, I'm going to explain this after I'm done typing it, but just follow along with me for now. Compare sync. Then we're going to say password. User.password. And then we're going to open this up. All right, and then here we're going to say const token. So here's where we're creating our token. We're going to say sign token. Pass in that user. Res.status. And we're going to give it 200, meaning like awesome, great job, success. JSON. Open that bad boy up. Then we're going to say message, and we're going to pass in that token. Token. All right, and then we're going to say here, we're going to put our else. And we're going to say res.status 401, womp womp. We're going to say JSON. We're going to say you shall not pass, right? That's Luis's favorite thing to say. Okay, cool. Oh, we don't have a catch. Hold on. Let me put in a catch. Almost forgot my catch. No, not there. Here. DocCatch. So what having a DocCatch is, because you might be like, well, Chelsea, wait, what? You have an else here. Like, why do you need a DocCatch? Well, DocCatch does exactly what you think it does. It catches everything else. So if this particular if else, like this is not going to be the status. Like this is not going to be the error message you want to give somebody all the time. It will make more sense when I explain what this does, but just trust me for now. Let me type the rest of this out and then I will explain it. So this is going to catch all your errors. This is kind of a catch all. Like if this fails, this is going to go here. Like if this is not the right status, then it's going to go to this 500. So hold on, let me just check this out. It's going to give you the error as well. Okay, so let me explain what all this is doing. This is taking the user, and if it's saying that the hash password is like matching password, which it should, because that's what we have in here, then make this password into a token. So it's going to give the user a token. It's going to sign them in with a token, and it's going to allow them to then view the page that we want to be locked, which is going to be our cat facts. So this takes the hash password, makes it into a token, assigns the user that token for however long we declare later on, which we haven't created this sign token function yet. So right now that's not going to work by itself. We're going to have to create a function down here, which is what we're going to do next. That is sign token, and that's where we're going to pass in a user, and we're going to say how long how long the token is good for, and all that good stuff. And then we're going to use our JSON Web Tokens in our signed token function in order to get a JSON Web Token. And then we just have a message, and that is the token. That way we can pass in that token into our header when we go to log into the CatFax router. And then here, this is just saying like, you're unauthorized, right? You don't have the right credentials. You do not pass. You cannot get through. You don't have the right password. You don't have, like, you're not authorized. Like, let's see. 401. Unauthorized. So you don't have something that makes you authorized. Something's not adding up here. This is a 500, which if you look in here, it's not specific. It's just kind of internal server error. It doesn't really tell you what exactly is wrong. It's just like, yeah, there's something wrong here. So this is a more general error, and this is a more specific error for if you don't have the credentials that you need. So that's why we put this in the if-else statement, saying like, if you can't authorize this user here, then give them, like if this falls through here, then give them this status, a 401 unauthorized. If anything else, just give them this catch-all error, meaning 500, which is just a journal server error. So now we're going to move on, and we're going to create that function, sign token. And we're going to pass in our user, because that is who we want to assign this token to. And then we are going to have our payload in here. And we're going to say user. We're going to pass in our user for our payload. We don't want anything else. Okay, and then we're going to also create options. And then here's where we are going to assign this token to like how long it's good for. So we're going to say expires in, and then I like to make it 1 day. So 1D. Oops, okay. And then I'm going to make this function return a JSON Web Token. And then we're going to also pass in our payload. And then, of course, we're also going to want to pass in our options, because those are the two variables we created inside of our function here. And then we're going to pass in JWT secret. And then, oh, I forgot to put this in first. Module.exports router. That way we can export all this and use it. Okay, cool. So now that we actually have our function sign token, that's going to assign this JSON Web Token to this user here, and it's going to create a token and a session that's going to be good. Well, not really session. It's going to create this token, and this token is going to be valid for 1 day. Yeah, so now that we have all that set up, I think we're pretty squared away. I think we have everything we need. Yeah, looks good. Okay, so now that we have that, we are going to create our middleware. So right now our middleware is empty, but in here we need to make a check that a user has a token before giving them access to the CatFax. So we're going to pass this middleware into our server. You can see I already have it imported here. It's auth middleware, and then it's authenticate, and I have authenticate in our router that we want a user to not access unless they have that token. So inside of here, we're going to create a variable named JWT, and we're going to have that require JSON Web Tokens, just like we did before in our auth router. This is going to get our JSON Web Token library for us that I imported into our package.json. And then we're going to import this JSON Web secret, JSON Web Token, JWT secret. Oops, not that. Then we're going to require, and then we're going to pass in where it's coming from. So this is, of course, coming from config. All right, that's our secret that I so secretly named. Shh, it's a secret. But all right, cool. So we got that. Now we're going to say module.exports. So this is just going to have it export everything at the top. That way you don't have to do it at the bottom. And then recres, and we're going to also pass in next here. 3 amigos, right? That's what Louise says, I think. And then we're going to say token. And here's where we're going to make sure that the token is inside of the header. So we're going to say rec.headers.authorization. So that means in your Postman, I'll show you later when we go into Postman, but the token needs to be in the headers and it needs to be as authorization. And then if the token verify, and then we're going to pass in this token, this JWT secret, and we're also going to have error decoded token. Oops, oops, oh my gosh, okay. Ooh, okay, I'm messing up all over the place. All right, so here's where we're going to say, like, if the token is not valid, then we're going to say res.status 401, which means, of course, unauthorized. JSON, and then in here we're going to say a message to our user, and we are going to say, sorry, no access allowed. So of course, they don't have a valid token, which we are making sure that a valid token is inside the rec, the headers as an authorization token. So if you accidentally copy and paste a wrong token in your Postman, it's going to give you this error right here. Sorry, no access allowed. But if it's successful, we're going to say decoded token, user, next, and then we're going to have an else here. Res.status 401, oops, this is unauthorized again. JSON, okay, and then we're going to also put in here, you shall not pass. I'm going to put like 3 exclamation marks. Oh. Okay, that was a lot. Let me format this real quick. Okay, cool. So this is testing to see if this token is valid. And if it's not, then it's not going to give you access. If it is, it's going to assign this decoded token to the user that you're getting from this rec.users, and then you're using your next, just coming from here. And then if that fails, then we're going to say res.status, and then you shall not pass. So this is kind of like our catch, and this is our Oh my gosh, I have to sneeze. Okay, sorry about that. This is our, I completely lost my train of thought. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. My sneeze threw me off. Yeah, I don't know. I might come back to it. Anyway, this is your validation of your token, making sure that it's the correct token that's passed in to this headers as authorization. And it's going to make sure that it's valid, that you have it correct. And if it is, then it's going to assign that token to that user, and it's going to give you that session, or not really that session, that token, and then it's not going to expire for a day. So inside of our server.js, we have this authenticate, and it is now yellow. I don't think it was yellow before. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, cool. So now this should be working. Honestly, this is like it. So we created our login, our register and login. We created our signed token function. And then we created our middleware to make sure that we are getting the correct token in our headers. So let's go into our Postman. I don't think I have Postman opened up. Okay, here we go. Let's go into our Postman and let's start typing out our endpoints. Oh, hold on. Before I do that, I almost forgot. I need to create an index.js because I forgot to put one in here for you guys. So you can go in here, create an index.js, and then this is just going to create a port for our server. So let's just code that out real quick. That way when we run our server, it actually works. Okay, and then here we're going to just say .-API, and then this is going to use our server.js. Oh my goodness. All right, and then we're going to say port. And then of course we're just going to say process.env.port. Or I don't know, what do you guys want to do it? We'll just do 8,000. Server.listen on this port. Oops. Oh my goodness. Open this up, and then we're going to console log this message telling us that the server is running. So we can just say server is running on port, and then we can pass in this dynamic port here. Alrighty, now that we got that, let's save our code, make sure it's all saved. It's all saved, it's good. And then let's do npm run server. Okay, we got a message. Server is running on port 8000. So that is correct. Oh, that's when I was practicing. Ignore that. Hold on. Okay. Put a bunch of A's in front of it to kind of cheat. Why did I need this? Sprint review authentication. Sprint review auth. Great. Okay, sprint review auth. I'm going to delete this one because I don't want two of the same things. All right, let's create our GET request. So let's say, oh, no. Let's create our post request to the register. And then let's also, might as well just go in post to log in. And then get auth catfax. So this is the authorized page with the catfax. So of course we have to register a user first. Let's go in, let's just do localhost 8000. And then let's see. I don't think I have one set up. Where did I leave it? Hold on. I gotta look. API dash catfax. So, okay, cool. So obviously right now, we are not getting, I should put this in here. We're not getting anything. We're not going to our catfax page because we are not authorized. We do not have anything passed into our header. We do not have a token. So yeah, we are not authorized. It's giving us the right message because this is our catch-all message when we don't even have anything passed in here. And then we're going to be getting the other message, which is, sorry, no access allowed, if we have some of our credentials incorrect. So let's go in here. Let's register a new user. So in order to register a new user, I used API/auth/register. And don't forget to change this to a post request. Save it. You can see it changes to a little yellow post request over here on this side. And then inside of our body, we're going to have to pass in a username. Oops. Oh, not like that. That is not where I wanted to type. Hold on. Okay. We're going to want a username, which I'm just going to make my username Chelsea. And then we're going to have a password. And I'm going to make it 123. So there we go. We have a username, password, everything looks right. Let's send it. There we go. So we have a new user. I was added with the ID of 1. My username is Chelsea. And here's my hashed password. So what we're going to have to do is take this hashed password, go into our login, type in our URL, so localhost 8000 /API/auth/login. And then we're going to take that hash password, type in authorization, pass that hash password into here. That way we know what user we are logging in as. And then in our body, we're going to make sure that we are passing in the correct credentials. So we're going to say username, and here I am going to type it in wrong for you guys, and we'll see what happens. We're just going to forget the S. And our password is not the hash password because we passed the hash password into our headers. But our hash password, or no, sorry, our regular password goes in as our regular credentials. Okay, sorry, I got distracted there for a minute. So my password was 123. So let's see what happens when I forget my S. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Post. I do that all the time. There we go. You shall not pass. So it's saying I can't pass. Even though I have this in here, I don't have the right credentials. So let's do this. And there you go. I don't have a message or anything, but I am logged in. So let's go into our cat facts. And this is correct. So now, oh wait, we should be getting the token in here. Hold on. Let me see what's happening here. Yeah, we passed in this token. All right, hold on, guys. Let me pause this real quick. Let me see what I did wrong. It's probably something silly. All right, guys. So it's working now. I have this token, which is what I wanted, but I don't know what made it work. I think maybe I was doing something wrong in here, but I am not sure. When I figure it out, I will let you guys know, because I really am not sure what I did to make this work. I changed a bunch of things in here, and I'm not sure which thing made it work. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look and see what I did to fix it exactly. Like, I'm going to have to take things out and put things back again, but I'm not sure. Okay, anyway. Once this works, you take this token and go to here, and you're supposed to pass this in your headers like this. So authorization. And remember, you have to pass this in as authorization, pass in that token, click send, and boom. You get one single cat fact. So you can click, you'll get a different one every time. It's just a random one. Cats, I think this is only hairless cats, actually. I don't know if all cats are symbols of divinity in ancient Egypt. Anyway, yeah, so this is a fun little app. I don't know what I did. I need to figure it out. But once I figure it out, I will make a post in the description and let you guys know. But for now, this is your project. This is it. It's just the middleware, the router, making sure everything is authenticating correctly, like your middleware is passed in here to your cat's fax router. But yeah, and then, you know, the whole postman, make sure you're passing in everything to your headers, because that's what we have declared in our middleware. So yeah, I mean, this is it. This is like your whole entire guided project for this week. It's pretty short and sweet, to the point. But if you guys have any questions for me at all, just reach out to me. I'm going to try my best to figure out what the heck I did to figure that out, because I changed a bunch of things and I'm not sure which one did it. But I will let you guys know in the descriptions when I figure that out. But yeah, just let me know if you have any questions, and I hope this was helpful. And yeah, if you get the chance to do the stretch goal and write some tests, definitely do that. But until then, I will push everything up. I'm doing that right now to the video recording branch. And if you want to take a look at that, then yeah, you can do that. Feel free to do that. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.